Christian sitcom.
Yes.
Might be the best. All right. Here we are.
Evening.
Episode 2.
Number 2 already. Seems like just yesterday we did number 1.
It does. It's funny how time flies.
It is, yeah.
It's odd.
Yeah.
It's odd.
Yeah, it's crazy too because it's still summer and the nights or the days are still sort of long and the nights are short, but it's floating by.
Man, and it's been hot. Hot!
Wow. I'm sweating right now.
Oh my goodness. It's, what is it, September 9th? September 9th.
Yeah,
I
maybe.
think. Something like that. And I've been sweating today. It's supposed to be in the 90 today in Seattle.
Right.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And then it's supposed to be hotter tomorrow, 92.
What the hell is this? Southern California?
Yeah, right? And it's getting down into like the 50s at night. We're on these huge swings, which is...
Yeah, nothing compared to like Colorado though. Didn't they have like a 40-degree change in a single day or something?
I heard
with
like
snow.
Yeah, like shorts to
Forest
parkas.
fires and snow.
Man, how
It's
do
the
you
apocalypse.
How do you dress for that?
Here come the 4 horsemen.
Right? Oh my God.
Yeah, but here we are.
Yeah.
Episode 2. Happy to be here.
There's probably only 10% of video podcasts ever make it to episode 2.
Is that an official?
No, I just made it up, but it sounds really true.
It sounds perfect.
Yeah.
True stories I just made up.
So we're kind of in the elite, according
Nice.
to my false statistics.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, cheers to that. And welcome, everybody. I hope you enjoyed episode 1. Episode 2, even better or worse. Who knows? You'll find out. You got to stay till the end, though.
And we'd love your opinions. So if you're here watching this episode 2 and you watched episode 1, let us know what you think.
Yeah.
Let us know what you like, what you don't like, what you'd like to see improved, what you'd like to see go away, what you'd want to see that we're not doing. Just give it to us, you know?
Yeah, and maybe we'll listen, maybe we won't.
Yeah, we want to hear from you.
We'll listen.
My name's Kyle McCurdy.
I'm Charles Bressler.
I'm the chief maitre d' of Dunce Games.
I'm the head chef.
And here we are on Dunce Games TV, DCGTV, for those of you that like acronyms like we do. And
It rolls off the tongue really well.
It does, right? DCGTV.
Yes.
Sounds like it should be in a Tupac song.
It should.
Yeah.
Man.
Maybe it
We
was.
can get a hologram concert going, and he can throw that in there.
Someday.
Yeah.
Someday. Deep fake, right? They call it deep fake, where they can show a video of someone talking that they just made up. They did it with Joe Rogan, where they did a deep fake, and he was talking about, like, a bunch of chimps that started a football league, and it wasn't him at all. But
Was it his actual voice? Did they like splice in a bunch of stuff that he had said before?
it was his voice, but it wasn't spliced. An AI program watched enough of his podcasts, because he's got, thousands of hours of video podcasts, and it learned how to impersonate Joe Rogan well enough where you couldn't tell, and it made this fake Joe Rogan that could say whatever the programmer wanted it to say. And so that's the world we live in now.
That's like that old adage where you throw a bunch of monkeys into a room with typewriters,
Yes.
and eventually they'll write a Shakespeare sonnet.
For all we know, here we are in September 2020, and the Joe Biden and the Donald Trump that we think we know is just a computer program. It could be true.
It's very plausible.
I've never seen either one of them in real life. Have you?
Not those guys. No.
Yeah. So
No. I saw Bill Clinton once. Could have been a robot.
Yes.
I saw Obama once. Could have been a robot.
Indeed.
But and I've never seen them in the same place together. So I don't know. Clark Kent, Superman.
We're not saying, but we're also not saying.
And I didn't see him shave where the skin could come off and the lizard people underneath could come out. But that's a whole other theory. We'll talk about that another day. But tonight we've got all kinds of exciting stuff for you.
We do. It's going to be a good episode.
Yeah, we're going to play a game called Crazy 8. It's where we do kind of a top 8 list. We didn't want to be like every other talk show host, late night person, do a top 10 because besides we don't have that much time. So we're settling on Crazy 8. We're going to take a subject and pick our 8 favorite things on that subject. Mm-hmm. Kyle's going to interview his other daughter, his 9-year-old.
Going into 4th grade.
4th grade. And they're going to talk board games because, that's kind of what we're all about.
Indeed.
I've got a cooking segment I'm going to share with you, one of my favorite recipes. So look forward to that a little bit later.
And back by popular demand, if you read our comments, which you should, is Philosopher's Corner.
Philosopher's Corner. Do you have a really good subject for this week?
I do. We're going to talk about nihilism.
All right.
Yeah.
We're going to keep it light.
Yeah, exactly.
Talk nihilism.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Nihilism is light. You know? Yeah. Is there anything lighter than nihilism? I don't know if there is.
Yeah, you're the philosopher.
It's like feathers in water. It's the lightest thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Because if the feather goes in water, it absorbs the water.
But it floats. It sinks too.
Yeah. Okay. Feather on a cool summer breeze.
In helium.
Okay.
I don't know.
We're getting off topic.
Yeah.
Anyway, so great show coming up. Lots of stuff to talk about and discuss, and I hope you enjoy. Mm-hmm. And we'll be back in just a few moments.
Before we go, though.
Yes.
Before we go, Charles. Okay. We've known each other now for 5 years. I think.
Okay.
About.
Are you going to propose?
No. That's not the first step. The first step is to say, I love you, Charles.
That's right there. All the
We're
feels.
Deep. We've been through some things.
Mormon, and on that day, his heart grew 3 times bigger.
You've watched me go through a couple midlife crises and a divorce and taking custody of my daughter and lots of drama.
You've had a action-packed filled last few years,
and you've been with me by my side through it all.
Yeah, and I'm tired of it. I'm out of here.
So thank you. We'll see you when we come back.
And it's also the start of football season. NFL football season.
Absolutely.
So we'll talk a little bit about that.
Football without fans.
Go Hawks.
It's going to be weird.
It's going to be wicked and weird.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting.
I'm kind of excited, though, because there's not going to be the crazy crowd noise. And
which might hurt, in certain stadiums like Kansas City and Seattle, where we're at. They always brag about the crowd noise being a huge factor for the home team. So, I don't know. I'll
tell you this: if offside penalties don't go down 80%, I'm going to be incredibly disappointed in all linemen.
Yeah. It'll pull the curtain back, and you're going to see the little guy behind there.
They're just all drunk the whole time and never cared at all. So we better see some changes in penalty structures in the NFL.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Offsides and false starts and holding. Maybe.
Yeah.
Anyway, So action packed. Stick with us. We'll be right back.
Segment 2. Yes, let's do it.
Welcome back.
Ooh, is this emotional? Alright.
Right on.
Here we go.
Liking it.
Segment 2. Dunce Games TV.
All right, number 2. So, hey, what's been going on in your world?
Well, Charles, I would like to update you on something important in my world.
What's going on?
Where is it? September. That means I have not had a haircut in 7 months.
Oh, my goodness.
Look at this, guys. Audience at home.
Man.
Almost to the nostril of my nose, as opposed to the nostril of my other face part.
Well, the nice thing is you haven't had to go into an office.
It's true.
For quite a few months, right?
I have not set I don't set feasts and things, But I also have not set foot in my Seattle office since March, which is interesting and freeing. And I also have a very sad closet right now. Mostly what I wear are pajama pants and t-shirts.
Hey, if you can get away with it.
Yeah, I haven't actually had to buy a nice piece of clothing in a long time. Except for a nice pair of hiking pants. That's the closest I've come to having to upgrade my wardrobe.
So you go from inside the house to the woods, basically.
That's pretty much it.
Occasional trip to the grocery store.
Yeah, but I order ahead, so.
Why bother with clothes at all?
And hold on, since you brought it up, I really need to share this. I bought groceries today from a local grocery store, which I will not name, because I'm hoping they'll make it right. So I'm not going to name them publicly on a nationally broadcast TV show, internationally broadcast TV show, until I give them a chance to make it right. But I ordered ahead, and as most of us are probably doing, I placed my order ahead of time and went to go pick it up so I didn't have to go to the store, and they could come put their groceries in my car, and it was this good experience. Everybody was happy. However, I went there to pick up my groceries at 3, and they did not have them ready till 4. So I was sitting in the parking lot for an hour.
What?
And then they gave me all the wrong groceries. And one thing in particular happened. My kids love seaweed packets. I don't know.
Wait. When they gave you the wrong groceries, did they give you somebody else's groceries, or they just picked the wrong stuff?
They just picked the wrong stuff.
Oh, my goodness.
Rushed the stuff they were supposed to get me. They didn't bring me my Cajun spice mix, which I love. They didn't bring me my V8 special fruit punch juice, which I love. They also screwed up my seaweed purchase for my daughters. And they love seaweed. I hate it, but they love it. These little seaweed snack packs. And you know what they gave us instead? Wasabi seaweed snack packs.
Oh, my goodness.
So both my daughters have been running around the house screaming this afternoon because they were eating wasabi when they didn't expect it. And I'm
it's
sitting
actually
here...
good for them, though.
Right?
I hear it kills coronavirus.
You know what? Maybe you're right. Maybe I just should have said toughen up. Toughen up, Buttercup.
Take more of it.
Yeah, eat your wasabi.
Get that wasabi in there.
Yeah, it's going to help you kill corona. Or something.
All right, are you done with your rant?
Yeah, I'm done.
We love our grocery workers. Sometimes they make mistakes.
We do. And I wasn't mean to them. I was nice to them.
That was very nice of you.
Yeah.
But hey, it has been a crazy week, and something that has actually hit me a little personally. We have had in Washington State here, and I know in California, Colorado, throughout the West Coast, forest fires.
Crazy forest fires.
And just down south of us in a little town called Bonnie Lake.
Mm-hmm.
It's south of Seattle, about 40 minutes or so, if you're not familiar with it. I actually have a house out there, and it was listed in the evacuation, the mandatory evacuation.
Is it really on a lake?
It is on a lake. There is a tiny little lake. It's more of a large pond called Bonnie Lake.
Bonnie Pond.
That's what the town is named after. There's a couple other lakes there too. But we're on Bonnie Lake. And mandatory evacuation. The fire was within a couple of blocks. And it was fast moving. Yeah, we were within a couple of blocks. Proud to say, glad to say, not proud, but glad to say that did not affect the house. The house is still standing, and the people that were there, were able to stay.
If the people got away and the house burned down, did you have insurance?
Yeah, fully insured. Absolutely. But yeah, I mean, the first priority is life. There's nothing that can't be replaced in some way, shape, or form. The house has been in my family since 91 or so.
Okay.
So 30 years.
That's significant.
It is significant. Yeah. I don't have a huge emotional attachment to it, although I do like going there because it's on the lake and stuff. But I mean, for all you folks that are devastated by these forest fires, and there's plenty of them out there. My wife's aunt, their house burned down a few years ago in the Camp Fire down in California.
Well, it's hitting Eastern Washington too. I was reading about
Washington, Omak,
the town of Colfax even getting evacuated. Like there's some hot
and down south as well, on western side. Yeah. So Graham and I think somewhere down by Olympia. It's burning everywhere.
Well, that's just Washington. Like California here is just torched.
Yeah.
And then you have all sorts of, I mean, it's worse than last year, and last year was the worst ever, right?
Right.
And we're just kind of getting into the season right now.
And it's still hot as blazes out there, so.
Welcome to life in climate change, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. So
fires. So keep your garden hose coiled well.
Keep your garden hose coiled. Make sure your insurance premiums are paid.
Yes.
And pay attention to the evacuation orders because your life is worthwhile.
I know it was wild. Like I was camping for Labor Day out by North Bend, Washington, which is right by Snoqualmie Pass.
Right.
And I did not see any smoke or worry at all. And then as soon as I got back home to Renton, the skies were hazy, and my daughter was coughing, and I was going, "What is going on?"
Yeah, smoke has been really bad here.
Hey.
In fact, we've been, suffering some headaches and stuff. We've been trying to stay inside, but it's so hot.
Yeah,
and it's so sunny outside that all you want to do is get out, but it's difficult.
And on top of the fires, Charles, did you know that the military is now starting to experiment with robot protector drone things, robot dogs to protect Air Force bases.
Are you saying robot dogs?
Robot dogs. I'm sure you've seen the Raytheon or BAE Systems or whatever videos of those robot dogs that they walk around. And they're being experimented with as guards for Air Force bases.
Wow. Okay.
So next time you try and go infiltrate Area 51, watch out for the dogs, homie.
I am
the
not
robot dogs might be shooting you with autonomous programming and algorithms.
With lasers.
And lasers.
Or sonic missiles.
Eyeball lasers. Yeah.
Eyeball lasers.
Be careful.
Love it.
So watch out for those robots, people. It's the Terminator happening right in front of us.
Yeah, I mean, is this the start of what was the company?
Skynet. Skynet's coming.
Is this the start of Skynet?
Skynet is being started with dogs. The Terminator movies didn't get it right. It's not T-1000s. It's dogs.
It's dogs.
Dogs with laser eyeballs. So, careful, ladies and gentlemen. If you're going to visit your relative at the Air Force base, be careful.
Yeah.
Make sure you're good with robot dogs. Bring some robot jerky or something.
Or maybe a can of oil or something. I don't know. What else is going on? We've got tons of political stuff happening right now. If you're following the news, our good friend, was it Woodward or Bernstein that just came out with a book? Bernstein just came out with a book. Scathing book. It's one of 30 or 40 books that are coming out on the Trump administration right now.
The timing is interesting.
Well, the interesting thing is that the guy has actual tapes. So
on the record tapes, too.
On the record tapes.
Yeah, like on the record
that are
stuff.
Undeniable, talking about hiding how bad the coronavirus was from the American people earlier this year, back in early February. So
I think we need to slow down a minute. Because right now, we're telling the people that our president lies to us.
Well, I mean, everybody, all the presidents lie, but...
No. This president is an honest president. And so... We're breaking some ice here. We're shattering expectations. This is cognitive dissonance. This president we have right now lies to us.
No.
About the severity of crises.
No.
I'm
amazed and confused by that statement.
It is wild that there's been so many tell-all books that have come out against this guy.
Oh, everybody from, the...
Lighten him up.
From his niece to his wife's former best friend.
To his former cabinet members.
I'm waiting for Eric Trump to come out with a pop-up book talking about growing up and how bad it was.
His wife or his daughter, as soon as he does not get reelected, is going to come out with a book too. As soon as they're not liable to...
Well, the other funny thing was Cohen, who was his mob fixer back in the day, has a new book out as well. And, Cohen, I could trust him about as far as I could throw him probably, but he was with him for like 20 years. And today he came out and said that...
Isn't he in jail?
No, he's out of jail and released his book. And said that he will, if he loses the election, he will resign and have Mike Pence pardon him.
Oh. Can you do that after you lose an election? I guess there's a little window of error in there.
Yeah, there's that, 3 months before you're done. Anyway, folks, enough politicking. We're going to take another quick little break.
Little bio
break. Mop our brows and drink some water.
Because it's hot.
It's hot, man.
Yeah.
And we'll be back.
Yep. See you soon. Ladies and gentlemen. Be safe.
I bet you didn't know that one of the things that connects Kyle and I is our love of hip-hop.
It's true.
I think I'm more of a California West Coast G-Funk guy, and I believe that you're more of an East Coast.
I love my Wu-Tang, my Beastie Boys.
Yeah.
I do. I am. I mean, I love the Dre stuff too, but I think I would err on the side of the East Coast, especially in our generations of the beef.
Yeah.
Of the coasts.
Yeah. No, I'm definitely West Coast. Dre, Snoop, Eminem,
Ice Cube. Is Ice-T?
NWA.
What is Ice-T?
Ice-T's New York guy, I think.
He's New York, yeah. He's on my team.
Yeah,
okay, cool.
He's on your team.
All right. Well, we talked about the news, and as we do on our show, it left me a little stressed out.
Yeah, well, there's not a lot to report that's great in the news. We need to come up with a segment where we have, like, the inspirational story of the week.
Good news.
But we'll do that later on. We have to actually find one.
And until then, we'll have our drink of the week after our news of the week.
Yes. A wee bit of the elixir of the gods here.
Yes. And may I tell you about what we have this evening? We have
curious.
Pendleton Canadian Whisky.
Oh.
For those of you at home.
Is this a true Canadian, or is this just a Canadian blend made?
You know, it's an important question, because there's a lot of non-true Canadian blends and a lot of imposters.
Yeah.
However, according to the label, this is a true Western tradition.
Okay.
Made for the rodeo.
For the rodeo?
For the rodeo, using time-honored methods of oak-barreled aging for a rich, complex flavor and an uncommonly smooth finish.
Okay, so
what is uncommonly smooth?
It's uncommonly smooth. It's smooth. It's got a smoothness that's not common.
There's common smooth. Can you give me an example of something that's commonly smooth?
Me. I'm commonly smooth. And this is a local brand.
It is bottled in
Pendleton. I'm thinking Oregon, right?
Pendleton. Oh, so explain this to me. Bottled by Hood River Distillers, Hood River, Oregon. Oregon.
Got it.
Product of Canada. What does that mean?
I don't
maybe
know.
It's the recipe here.
Maybe the wheat is from.
May I say sláinte to you?
Yes.
Which is an Irish cheers, which means to your heart, to your health.
Nice.
In these hard times.
I appreciate it. Oh, I think I'm gonna like this one.
Oh.
Okay, let me just say, uncommonly smooth.
Uncommonly smooth. You know what?
That
I can't argue with that.
Smooth whiskey.
I can't argue with that.
Gentlemen.
That is delicious.
That is a good whiskey.
It goes down easy, and it gives me a little burn in my nose, like right here.
Yeah.
Like a little burn, but not a painful burn. Just like a hey, how you doing? I'm here. Burn. It was good.
Here.
Yeah.
I'm in your nose.
Yeah. I've entered your body now.
I like this, man. This I can do.
Yeah.
Often.
That's good. That's like you didn't really want to get creeped on, and then the person that was creeping on you was like, smelled really good.
I'm trying to pick out the flavors because it's not a heavy flavor. It's got a very light color to it.
Well, shout out to Pendleton's, because that's good.
That's a good whiskey.
That is a tasty one.
Pendleton's, we love you.
We've had a few from Oregon now. There's a lot of distilleries in Oregon.
Yeah. There is a lot of local distilleries popping up. And we'll probably find a few here in Western Washington that we'll share with you guys.
Indeed.
And try out. But Pendleton, good job.
Yeah.
We'll hashtag you, call you out, as if anybody was actually listening to us anyway. But
I've thought about this idea, Charles, of doing reverse sponsorship, and how we should start doing that on the show. Like, just pick some product or some whiskey or whatever the hell that we like, and act as if they're sponsoring us. Like, today we're sponsored by Nike running shoes.
Do we want to go Nike?
I don't know, something that we can make it as ridiculous.
Today we're sponsored by IBM.
You know what? Today we're sponsored by Def Leppard.
Really?
We could do it.
Yeah.
We could pretend that they love our podcast and pretend they're sponsoring us, and do a reverse sponsorship. All we're going to do is bring more awareness to whatever brand we mention, right?
I always thought Def Leppard should go in the sugar business. Like Def Leppard sugar.
That would be good. I would buy it.
Pour some on me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, a little side note.
If you come with a nice spout, it would be great. Yeah.
A nice spout?
Yeah.
In a can. In a can, Def Leppard.
Yes.
Joe Elliott, call me.
How many times, have you seen a can with a nice spout, right?
Yeah.
It's never.
How many times have you seen a game in a can?
Right?
All our games are in cans.
Yeah.
It's because we like it.
You get the cool, like...
it's like
rip
popping
the top,
can of Pringles every time.
Get the goodies inside, get the game going, and you can store it with your canned goods or on your game shelf.
Yeah. And it packs easily into a purse.
It does.
Backpack.
However, you cannot take it on your carry-on on the airport because it's metal.
Really?
Can't you? Wouldn't they think it was a bomb or something?
No, I did take one on an airplane. The lady kind of looked at me funny because it went through the. I forget where I was. I think I was going to San Francisco.
Oh.
Pre-COVID, and
look at that, airplane safe.
It made it airplane safe. They did question it.
Now we know.
They did question it, but yeah, I mean, what are you going to do? You're going to hammer it into a knife, on the plane?
Have a sharp edge from the pop top.
Yeah.
Who knows these
Just
days?
don't rub any, gunpowder on the lid or anything.
So before we move on, I have heard this rumor, Charles.
Yes.
I've heard this rumor that you wear very fancy socks.
Oh, I try to wear very fancy socks.
I've heard it. Is it true?
It is very true. I don't wear them every day, but on special occasions. Filming Episode 2 is a very special occasion. Almost ranks up there with filming Episode 1. And slightly less than Episode 3. But it's a special occasion.
Would you show us your socks?
I'd be glad to show you my socks.
Can we make this a thing, like, every show?
Yes, I will wear special socks. So, this week, I brought in the light side of the Force.
Oh.
And I brought in a character that I believe is in every single Star Wars movie except for one.
Even the new ones?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's every character. And it's not C-3PO because I can't stand that guy. But the best droid out there, ladies and gentlemen.
The best droid on planet
is R2-D2. And those are my lovely R2-D2 socks. Look at that. Look at that. Takes you back to Tatooine, doesn't it?
R2-D2 is the best, I think. I don't think there's a better character in the entire
he'd be the one I'd want to hang out. Besides Chewbacca, I'd hang out with Chewie in a heartbeat.
Yeah, but R2-D2 would be way more functional. Like, R2-D2 could help you do things. Chewbacca would just help you break shit.
R2-D2 could hack into anything.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, he hacked into the Death Star.
Yeah, he could take you into Fort
Knox
and fill your pockets with gold.
Yeah.
That.
Probably not, but...
Easy peasy.
Don't give our secrets away. Anyway, all right. So, Whiskey, Pendleton, good job.
Salute.
We're going to come right back. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back, and Kyle is going to do another interview segment with yet another of his lovely offspring.
I have many offspring, so this might just keep happening every single episode. Cheaper by the dozen.
Don't let him fool you. He's got two that he knows of.
That I know of, yeah.
That he knows of. So we'll be back, and he's going to do that, and we're going to talk a little board games.
Yep. All right. See you soon, ladies and gentlemen.
Be Frankie.
Hey, Allie.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Good.
Would you talk in the mic? Make it just a little closer to your face.
Hello.
Don't put your lips all over it. Thank you for being here on this show.
Hello.
Daughter.
Hello.
You know, last week I had my other daughter on the podcast, and we talked about what it was like to start as a remote student in 2020. This is weird. How are you doing with that?
Meh.
Could you expand on meh?
It's not amazing, but it's not amazing.
It's not amazing, but it's not amazing. You heard it here first. So, we're going to leave that at that. My daughter, you're 9 years old, is that correct?
Yes.
Are you 9.5 or just barely 9?
I'm 9.5 of a half quarter.
9.5 of a half quarter. As someone who is living in the world at that age, what is your favorite board game?
Santorini.
Santorini. Would you tell us about Santorini?
Game where you build blocks and be a god.
A god. What kind of god?
Any Greek god?
What's your favorite Greek god to be in this game?
Pan.
Pan.
Pan the goat.
Pan the goat. You know, I respect that choice. It's a good choice. I'm not going to lie. I think Pan's a good god to be. Something that I've always really enjoyed about you being my daughter is that you love board games. And you've always been very good at them. Tell us a little bit about what you like about board games in general. Because I feel like, you know, a lot of kids don't these days.
They're really fun to play. And that you can, like, move these around with your hands, not a screen. You're like, chomp, 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 chomp.
Oh, yeah. What do you like about the pachomp? Like, what makes that cool?
That you can, especially in coronavirus, that you can play games with your friends. Because I know that one of my grandmas plays an app that is like board games, but online, just so you can play with your friends.
Okay, so like a virtual board game, but you can play with your friends, so it's like a pretend board?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Also, you don't, like, whenever, like, you play the board game, you don't, like, whack the pieces off.
Gotcha. What do you miss the most about pre-COVID life?
So not COVID life?
Yeah, pre-COVID life, before COVID.
Probably being able to hang out with my friends.
Being able to hang out with your friends? I feel sad all of a sudden. Because you can't hang out with your friends, and that makes me sad as a dad. Can we cry together a little bit?
No.
Why not? I just want to cry. It's sharing. No? Okay, that's fine. Alright, so what are you doing in lieu of friendship to make your life worth living?
What does lieu of friendship and life make living mean?
It means instead of. So instead of friends, what are you doing to enjoy life? Minecraft. Right on. I can respect that. If Minecraft were a board game, what would it look like?
There'd be like little like cardboard blocks that you like put on a board and like this whole world and trying to like it's kinda like be like Saturn and trying to like build blocks and make like a city. And you can make like different kinds of blocks.
Maybe we should build that. Okay, before we close out our segment, what do you want the people of YouTube to know about you?
I like food.
Okay, food. It's not just any food.
Food.
Tell the people what it was like to bite into a delicious piece of seaweed, only to find it was filled with wasabi tonight.
Terrible. My tongue still stains.
Your tongue still stings and stains? I remember you running to the sink with terror on your face.
It was terrible. It's just like a thing like a cup of powdered wasabi on a piece of seaweed.
That's an interesting thing. You said terrible, and I said terror on your face. You think those words are related?
Yeah. But no. Not at all. No.
Not at all? No?
Because you could be like, oh, I had the word, like, I had a terrible dream. But then also, I guess kind of, because like you sometimes say them together.
Okay.
It's like, oh, I had a terrible dream. I was filled with terror because there's monsters.
Terrible monsters. Okay, well, let's close this out with weird noises, okay? We'll see you in the next segment.
Too soon.
I always do.
But we like to talk, so let's get rocking.
And I want to tease people, you know, like, oh, I'm feeling it. Oh, it's gone. Here we're back.
It's gone. You want more.
I know. We were talking about the news. We were talking about what's going on in the world. What is it, September 9th, 2020?
Yeah, I don't even know.
You know, we got some weird stuff going on. Another thing we have going on, which is very interesting, is we got the NFL season starting up.
Football.
It starts,
It actually starts, depending on when you watch this, but for us it starts tomorrow, which is Thursday, September 10th. They got Thursday Night Football.
Tomorrow.
I think it's Baltimore and some other team.
They have a good defense, I hear. They used to back in the day.
They released the great Earl Thomas, who used to be in the Legion of Boom. He has been released. I think he's probably heading to the Cowboys or the Texans or some other crappy team.
By the way, I'm going to keep saying it. I haven't had a haircut in 8 months.
Oh my God.
Look at that. Fuzzy.
It's time. It's time. Actually, you don't care because, you don't go into the office every day.
Exactly.
Well, football.
We got Russell Wilson.
Yes.
Here in Renton.
Yes.
In the practice station.
Yes. And Seahawks start on Sunday.
All right.
Against Oh, damn, I knew this. It's out of my head now.
Is it an in-conference game? Do we go right into
It is not an in-conference game.
Okay. It's not a conference. It's not the goddamn Packers, is it?
So, it's not the Packers. I don't think they play the Packers this year. Maybe the casual fan knows this, maybe they don't know this, but there's 16 games in a season with one bye, so it's 17 weeks before the playoffs.
17 with the bye.
Right.
Got it.
Every division plays 2 games from each team in their division, so it equals 6. So we've got 2 games against the Niners, 2 games against the Cards, and 2 games against the Rams.
L.A. Rams.
And then they play a interdivisional game against one AFC team, because we're NFC, and then they play against an NFC.
And by the way,
division.
NFC stands for National Football Conference, and AFC stands for Asshole Football Conference. In case you didn't know.
I didn't know that, but
you didn't know that, yeah.
It sounds right.
Sounds about right.
So this year, the Seahawks on their wonderful schedule have the AFC East and the NFC East.
Oh, okay.
So on the AFC East, we've got the Patriots, the Brady-less Patriots. We've got the Jets, Gang Green. We've got the Miami Dolphins.
Did you say Gang Green?
Yeah. And then we've got the Buffalo Bills. Which might be the AFC leaders this year since the Patriots.
They did good last year, the Bills.
They weren't bad, and now that the Patriots are probably going to suck this year, even though they still have Bill Belichick, they don't have Brady, and they are missing about 8 other players that are standing down because of COVID.
And really, like, all the Bills' history have been sucky in the past 20 years. Ish.
Yeah.
However, I have some colleagues/clients in my job that are from Buffalo, and they're huge Bills fans. They keep talking about how they're so good.
I have some friends from
blah,
Buffalo.
Blah, blah, blah. They're going to be amazing.
They probably will, because they don't have the Patriots to beat up on them. So.
Yep.
The other division we're playing is the NFC East, which is the Eagles, the Cowboys, the Washington team, the unnamed Washington team, and the Philadelphia Eagles.
They used to be good, that division. The Eagles, the Cowboys.
And they're still the NFC least at this point. The Cowboys are probably the best team in that division. They may surprise. They say that. They're the kind of the Cinderella pick every year, but they never seem to do it.
Remember the days, though? Like Aikman and, what was his name? Irving?
Yep.
And,
early 90s.
Early 90s.
Late 80s, early 90s.
Dallas
ranked up there with the San Francisco teams.
Yeah.
And then to round out the 16 games, the NFL usually tries to pick a couple of games that are more kind of rivalry games. Usually it's Seahawks versus the Panthers or Seahawks versus Green Bay. I'm not sure who they have this year,
am still buttsore about the Panthers and the Seahawks playoff experience about 4 or 5 years ago. We were so good. And Cam Newton.
Oh, the Cam.
Oh,
the Cam who's now on the Patriots.
He's on the Patriots now? Is he their starter?
Starting quarterback on the Patriots.
Ooh, and we get to play the Patriots?
We do. Yeah,
Ooh,
that might be the season opener, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. That might be Sunday's game.
That'll be a fun one.
That'll be a fun one, and it's home.
I want to see Wagner just bury Newton in the dirt. Just cover him in dirt and step on him.
All right.
Squish him with his cleats.
So, knowing the divisions and the teams that are playing, do you have a prediction for a record for the Seahawks this year?
You know, I do. I could make one, and I feel like the Hawks are going to be really good this year. I've been a fan of the Hawks for a long time. I originally was an Eagles fan back in my Canada days, but I've evolved and improved. And I think today that the Hawks are going to go 12-4.
Wow. Okay. I like that. I would love that. That would be a good finish. I'm going a game smaller than that. I'm going 11-5, and here's my reasoning.
All right,
We've got 2 games against San Francisco.
They're good.
We got 2 games against LA.
They're good too.
Rams. And we've got 2 games against the Cardinals.
And they're always the challenge.
All those teams. This division plays each other harder than any other division in football.
And the Cardinals have been like shafted year after year after year. They're like due for a good season.
I don't think they're due quite this year. Maybe next year.
Agreed.
I mean, that Kyler kid is pretty good, and they've still got Larry Fitzgerald, who's just dynamite guy. But I'm going 11-5.
Okay, 11-5.
I think they split with San Francisco. I think they split with the Cards. I think they sweep LA. I'm hoping.
You heard it here first, though, ladies and gentlemen. It is September 9th, and 11-5, 12-4.
I'll take either.
Right? Hey, you heard it here first.
Either is playoffs and Super Bowl bound, baby.
Are we sages? Are we the oracles?
I think so. I think we could be.
I hope so.
I think we could be.
I think we could be too.
You know, earlier today, Kyle, you and I were talking about football, and you brought up your youth in Canada land.
Saskatoon.
And you had talked about playing electronic football.
That game, Charles, I'm glad you brought that up. That game, like, I was obsessed with it. And this game, I mean, you may or may not have heard of it. I hope you've heard of it. If you haven't, your life will be enriched.
You're too young if you haven't heard of it.
It was a game where you had a big football field, and it was this big sheet of metal with stands around it. And you had a whole team on each side. So 11 players on offense, 11 on defense. And you had to line them up in your football formation to what you wanted, and you'd hit go. And the whole field would vibrate. And they had little rubber feet, and so they'd move around, and they'd go straight or whatever direction. And so your plays would play themselves out. And so you could have running plays, and you could sack on defense, and you could have all these things. You could go back and defend receivers. You could pitch a little pass and try and hit someone up.
You mentioned this before. I've never seen the pass version. I've seen the run version all the time.
The pass version was pretty intense. You had to stop the game, pause it, and say, I'm passing. And then you'd put your quarterback on the field, and you'd have a little tiny foam ball, and you had to flick his little hand, ba-ding, 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 and he'd shoot the ball.
How was that again?
Ba-ding, ba-ding, ba-ding. But you only get one shot. Ba-ding. And if you hit it in the grid that your receiver was in, it was a catch. And you hit go again, and the receiver had the ball, and it was like touchdown most time.
Okay,
Boom.
let me ask you this.
Boom.
You're Tom Brady.
Yep.
Little miniature Tom Brady.
Ding.
Or Russell Wilson. Let's go Russell Wilson. You're a little miniature
Extra
Russell
miniature.
Wilson. Don't pick on Russell. Little Russell Wilson. You're on a metal board.
Yep.
And you ding the ball.
Yeah.
If it doesn't land in the zone of the wide receiver, is that an automatic incomplete pass, or is that an interception?
It depends where it landed, you know? Like, if it was just on the field where there was no player, incomplete. If it landed in the zone of a defensive player, interception.
Wow. Okay.
If it landed in the zone of a defensive player and a receiver, which happened fairly often as well,
okay,
you have to roll a dice to decide.
Oh, there was dice involved?
Well, there was.
Or was it a flip of a coin or something?
Was there? No, I think it was a flip of a coin. It's been so long since I played this game, I can't remember. But I remember you'd have to decide the outcome in some random fashion.
Okay.
And I think maybe you're right. Maybe it was a flip of the coin. But I can't recall exact parameters in the moment. But it was good. And I played the game all the time. And you know what? I played it against myself. Because honestly, not a lot of people wanted to play with me. So...
Who would not want to play with little miniatures on a vibrating metal board?
You know, my brother. My brother wouldn't want to play with me on the little miniature board. Okay?
All right. We'll have a therapy session a little later for all of you that had brothers.
And if you know of the vibrating football game, please show me some love in the comments or the whatevers that I'm not alone.
I remember we didn't have it. And I know on our Dunce Cap site, we've got several different football games.
There's a lot of fun football games
that are a little bit different. We've got a VHS one, and we've got another game which is a strategy game that involves a lot of grease pen on a plastic.
Yeah, a lot of circles and squares and like arrows and yeah. And it's a strategy game like that. Like football's a good game for that because
football's
you're moving
all about strategy,
the big guys and the little guys and the fast guys and the slow guys and the throwing guys and the catching guys. Like there's a lot of. It's kind of like a board game in a lot of ways. Like you think about the strategy of football.
Yeah.
You got to mix in the players' talent you have with the against the enemy's talent that they have. Like it's a thing.
Well, we're looking forward to football this year. I've got one thing to say, and that's go Hawks.
Hey, you know what? I'm going to say go Hawks as well.
Nice.
I'm going go Hawks.
11-5, 12-4.
Hey.
We'll take either. And we'll be back right after this.
Hey, do you like food? Yeah, I like food. Here we go.
Here we go. Here we go. And we're back.
Right, we're back.
Thanks for hanging out with us.
Indeed.
We've got a very special segment.
We do
right now.
You know what my one of my favorite foods to cook is?
What's that?
Eggs. You know what my other favorite food is?
What's that?
Ribs.
Oh, we got a segment just made for you.
Do you?
I filmed a little segment of one of my favorite recipes in my kitchen, and that is cooking some baby back ribs.
I just want to let the audience know that I have rarely experienced in my life culinary delights like this man Charles can cook.
Well, I appreciate
Now I'm talking like slow cooked ribs. I'm talking like meat and cheese plates. I'm talking like
trial and error,
olives and prosciutto. I'm talking like eggs and bacon. I'm talking like
you're making me hungry.
Man, I'm talking drinks. I'm talking about the way you can appease a culinary palate. This man knows how to do it, and I feel grateful to know him.
Well, I appreciate you to say so.
I'm hoping y'all will enjoy this segment.
Yeah. So check it out. We're gonna cook some ribs right now. Enjoy.
Indeed.
Hi, and welcome to the kitchen. In these segments, we're going to share some of our favorite recipes for food and drink. This week, we're doing slow-cooked baby back pork ribs. Let's do it. Our rub includes 2 teaspoons of salt, 2 teaspoons of pepper, 2 tablespoons of garlic powder, a tablespoon of onion powder, a couple teaspoons of paprika, a couple teaspoons of celery salt, about a tablespoon of oregano, and if you like to bring a little heat, throw in a few shakes of some red pepper flakes. We're going to take those spices and just pour them into a bowl. Pepper, garlic, onion, paprika, celery salt, oregano, and just a touch for us of red pepper flakes. We're going to take our spoon and just mix all those beautiful, flavorful spices together. And that will be our rub. It's okay if you have too much. You can always save some for next time. These ribs are so delicious that they fall off the bone and melt in your mouth. But to get that, we need to do a couple of things. We need to bake them for a long time in a low temperature oven after we grill all that beautiful seasoning into the meat. But to prep it, there's only a few steps that you have to do. So once you get it home, you open up the package and you've got this big, beautiful slab of ribs. Do not wash them in the sink. That's a big no-no. All you're doing is spreading all the germs around and you're waterlogging the meat. If the meat is too wet, it's going to taste a little off. So empty it from the package and then take a paper towel and simply dab it off. That's all you got to do. Both sides. If you want, you can also put the meat on a rack and put it in the fridge for a couple of hours. The fridge will actually dry the meat out and get all that unnatural water out of it. There's another important step that you got to take. You can ask the butcher to do this, or you can simply do it at home. On the back side of the ribs, there's a membrane here. You can see it, it's real shiny there. You want to remove that. It's not a big deal if it's there, but if it is, it's probably going to get stuck in your teeth a little bit more, and it's going to be a little chewy. So the best thing to do is remove it. Sometimes you can just, if it's nice, you can just grab it and pull it off. Sometimes you might need a paring knife, I do in this case, to help you get it removed. Now that the membrane's removed, we can go ahead and season it. This is kind of fun. The seasoning that you made earlier is going to go all over this, and you're just going to rub it in as best you can. So you can take your spoon, you can just reach in with your hands, however you want to do it. We just want to get this evenly coated on both sides of our ribs. try to get all the little folds, all the areas, any surface area you can find. Put some seasoning on it. You'll thank me later. All right, and that's it. If you take a look, you can see all the beautiful garlic, all the red pepper flakes, all the paprika, all those spices dug in. I'm gonna let this rest for a little while, and then the next step will be throwing it on the grill. We'll be back. As our meat's on the grill, we're gonna go ahead and preheat the oven to 225. That's the temperature that's gonna slow cook for about 2 hours. We wanna set the grill at about medium-high temperature. So go ahead and flip it on, get the fire going. Like to get both burners, and then turn it down just a bit. We'll get it to about 300, 325, and then we'll throw the meat on. All right, we got the temperature where we want it. So now it's time to sear in all that beautiful flavor. We're gonna drop this on the grill for about 10 minutes per side. All right, so we've had them on the barbecue, on the grill for about 10 minutes per side. As you can see, it's got a nice little char on the outside. That locked in all that flavor and locked in all the juice. And now it's ready to be prepped to go in the oven. So what I like to do is pop it on a cookie sheet and have a couple layers of aluminum foil. That locks in all that moisture, all that steam. So on the bottom side, I put a regular heavy-duty piece of tin foil, and on the top side I have the non-stick side there. So once I pull it out, I'm sure that the meat won't stick to the foil and make a mess. It usually doesn't anyway, but just to be safe, I do that. So I'm going to pop that on the foil, and then I'm going to go ahead and slather it with your favorite barbecue sauce. We used a kind of a store-bought smoky flavored one. It's kind of thin, but we do like it. It's got great flavor. So I'm going to slather this all over. I'm not going to get too heavy with it, because then you're just going to end up with a big greasy mess at the bottom. But I do want to coat all the surfaces. I'm starting with the top first, because once I flip it down, it's going to stay down. So we'll go ahead and flip this and have the meat side down. That way all the fat that's rendered up near the bones is going to soak down into the meat as it cooks and make it that much more juicy. Again, taking care to get all the surfaces. Now some people like to stop in the middle and rebaste it. They also like to stop in the middle, open it up and flip it. I'm one of these cooks that just likes to set it and forget it, as the infomercial says. We're just going to stick it in the oven just like this and let it cook for that 2 hours. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and make ourselves a little foil chamber. And that's going to keep all the flavor, all the juices, everything inside there as it cooks. So into the oven it goes. So we've got our oven preheated to 225. We're going to go ahead and stick our ribs in. Center rack, make sure they're right back into the center. Give it good heat circulation. And then all we have to do is set the timer for 2 hours. Alexa, set a timer for 2 hours.
2 hours, starting now.
And we'll be back. Well, welcome back, everybody. For you guys, it's been a few seconds. For me, it's been a little over 2 hours. I forgot to mention earlier that temperatures in your oven may vary, so you may want to adjust the time accordingly. Anywhere from about an hour and 45 minutes to 2.5 hours usually works. But the good news is you can keep practicing until you find the correct one that works for you. Look at what the finished product is. Look at how easy it is to separate these bones from the meat. The other thing you might want to consider is when you lay it out and get it ready to cut, have it bone side up. That way you can see where exactly you need to cut, if you need to. Oh my gosh, you guys, that is so good. Until next time, thanks for joining us in the kitchen.
Hey,
I gotta tell you,
you gotta tell us.
those ribs were so good.
That looks so good.
I'm making those again this weekend.
I want them eggs in my face. I want them all over my face.
I don't know what that means.
I want them in my eyeballs and my ears and all of them in my face. Anyway, speaking of eggs in the face,
Yeah.
I'm going to do this really good segue. It's time for the inaugural top 8.
Yes, we
The
do a
top
top 8.
eight.
Everybody in the world does a top 10 list.
Mm-hmm.
We decided to make it into a crazy 8. This is our top 8 list. In this week's episode, we're going to do the top 8 states that we love to visit, but hate to live there.
I want to go there, but I would never want to buy a home in that geology.
2 weeks max, 1 week max, 10 days max, something like that. Visit ya, but we're getting the hell out.
You know, Charles, I happen to have a list of that right in front
I've got a
of me.
list of that too.
Right?
Hit me up with your number 8.
You know, my number 8 starts with an M.
Oh.
Ends with an Uri. It's a Missouri.
The show me
The
state.
Missouri.
The show me.
You know, I love the blues in Missouri. It's got a great reputation for music.
Yeah.
It's also got a great reputation for violence. So, fuck ever living there. I don't want to live there. That's my number 8.
My number 8, and a lot of you are going to disagree with that, is going to be Hawaii. Yeah, I know, it's paradise. Who the hell doesn't want to live in paradise? But my thing is island fever, man. You're stuck on an island. You got so far you can go before you hit ocean. You turn around, you come back so far before you hit ocean. Love to visit, want to go there often. Do not want to buy a house. Plus, the cost of living is very high.
That's a good point.
What's your number 7, dog?
Stuff there. My number 7 also starts with an M.
Oh.
Ends with an Ota, Minnesota.
Oh, the snow.
The snow
Minnesota.
state and the state of modern hip hop. We got
Oh my God.
Atmosphere and Dessa and the Doom Tree. It's a beautiful cold
Hey,
state.
don't forget about Prince. Don't forget
Prince.
about the Replacements,
The
and don't forget
Ah.
about Off with Their Heads.
So we're talking here some deep musical
Yes,
traditions.
yeah.
However, it's cold as
It's
fuck.
cold and hot as hell in the summertime.
And oh my God, they have the weirdest. I grew up in Saskatoon. I thought I dodged that accent of
Is that the Fargo thing?
hey, sorry. I thought I dodged that. I never want to live there again. That's why Minnesota is my
Number 7. My number 7 is California. I know it's a great place to visit. It's got great beaches. It's got Disneyland. It's got
Good weather.
San Francisco. It's got good weather. But for me, man, you know, I'm not paying for income tax
Right.
a second time. I already pay federal. And, you know,
The use tax.
too much craziness. Earthquakes,
Yeah.
wildfires, the works.
And guess what? My number 6 was California
Oh,
for very similar reasons. So
Yeah.
I'm not even going to dive into it, but I would not want to live there, but I would like to continue to visit there.
well, my number 6 is New Mexico. Love the food, love the
Southwest.
Tex-Mex. Beautiful place, very red, too much desert. Love to visit. Not going to live there.
No joke. You know what's funny? My number 5 is Nevada. That's Southwest.
that's my number 3.
Oh, you got number 3. See, we're in the...
Number 3. We're good.
We need a vacation home in the Southwest, Charles, because we want to visit, but we don't want to live
Yeah,
there.
I don't want to live
We
there.
just need like a little hovel so we just go. kick
What
it.
about Nevada for you?
You know, for me, I used to love Vegas when I was younger,
Yeah.
and I loved the party culture, and I loved the idea
Yep.
of like just doing a whole crap ton of cocaine and partying all night. But you know what? I'm almost 40, and I don't want to do that because I have kids and I got responsibilities.
Man,
so
I'm almost 50. I'm right there with you. It's a fun place to visit. Go down for the
Right.
weekend, do a little gambling.
You grow
do a
up,
little
though. You grow
drinking.
up.
I'm done. So
We grow
Nevada,
up. Amen. We grow up.
My number 5 is Arizona. Very similar reasons to New
Southwest,
Mexico.
back in there.
Yeah,
Hey.
I hate to pick on the Southwest, but too hot. Not enough to do. But it is fun to visit.
You could always throw red rocks at red rocks.
Yeah, you could. So what's your number 4, sir?
My number 4 is Georgia.
Georgia.
You know, and you know
It's on my mind.
You know, it's not necessarily Atlanta and the home of Coke, but I want to visit the Georgian coast because, like,
Yeah.
that beautiful
Savannah
little piece
area.
of the Atlantic Ocean on the Savannah, yeah, like that sounds beautiful to me. And you know what? Maybe it's gonna suck, but the idea of visiting the Georgian, it sounds like I'm talking about some European country.
Kind of feels like a foreign country sometimes.
Yeah, but
I've been up and down the central Georgia.
I want to play in Savannah and I want to enjoy it, but I do not want to live there. Georgia, number 4.
My number 4 is Louisiana.
Oh, that food.
Staying down south, the food, man. I will go back there 3-4 times a year just to eat. And, you know, New Orleans, been there several times. Love it, love it, love it.
Yeah.
The jazz, the food, the people.
The culture is just...
But I ain't going to live there, man. I ain't going to lie to you. I ain't living there.
I got you.
Where you at?
The only reason Louisiana isn't on my list is because I would live there.
Huh?
But I might regret it immediately.
Don't forget it's hot.
It's true.
And
especially with global warming.
And hurricanes.
My number 3 is Illinois.
Illinois.
And the only reason my number 3 is Illinois is because I've been to Chicago a few times and I want to go back.
Chicago's bomb.
I want to play in Chicago, but I never want to live in that crazy.
Chicago's got
shitty
everything.
city.
Great food, great blues, great people.
Yes, Great Lakes.
Great lakes.
But I don't want to live there.
No.
Because it's polluted and dirty and violent as fuck.
My number 2 is Idaho.
Our neighbor.
Well, it's kind of like
neighbor of
Washington
Idaho.
Light. It's a beautiful place,
It is.
but it's landlocked, man. I love to go there. I love driving through.
It's got a lake
on my
or two.
way. It's got a lake or two, but there's no ocean anywhere nearby. I got to be within a couple 3 hours of the ocean.
Very
I'm not gonna be
like
happy.
crazy rednecky too.
Yeah.
It's at least except Boise. Boise's probably not.
Boise's probably
Everything
okay, but
else is.
isn't it full of neo-Nazis or something? At
Maybe
least that's what I
it is.
heard. Don't write
Or Mormons.
Call.
Or a whole bunch
That's
of
tough.
Mormons.
Yeah.
And there's Mormons in Idaho too.
Probably is. They're everywhere.
We're making good choices.
Yeah.
My number 2 is New York State. 'Cause,
Okay.
You know, it's just too much in the world stage that it makes me want to go visit and go to the museums and then run the fuck away as fast as I can. Like, I never want to live there, but I definitely want to visit there. So it was almost at the top of my list when I thought about this little top 8.
Okay. Top of my list.
Extravaganza.
And everybody might agree with this, is Florida.
Dude, that's my number 1 too.
Oh, great minds think
Florida.
alike. Florida, I love you. I love you. Tampa Bay.
Gators,
Ybor City.
Gatorade,
Miami.
violence,
Jacksonville.
Disney
not
World.
Jacksonville. Just kidding.
coasts,
Florida's got a lot to offer, man, but it's also got alligators.
Cuban cocaine,
And snakes.
Cuban sandwiches.
Cuban sandwich. Oh my god! Now you're talking my language. Cuban sandwich is so good. I've been all over Florida. I like visiting. I am not buying there. It's too weird.
No.
It's too crazy.
Never
it's too
buying
hot.
that.
There's too many reptiles. All that good stuff.
How did we agree on number 1?
I don't know, man.
It's impressive,
Great
though.
minds think alike.
So where are we going next?
We're going to Philosophy Corner.
The Philosopher's Corner by popular demand. If you read the comments,
Yeah, you're gonna want to grab a notebook
People want it.
and a pencil.
We're going to talk about whether or not things have meaning.
You're gonna want to take notes,
It's true.
and this will be great water cooler talk if you ever go back to the office.
You know what? I don't miss it at all. I don't ever want to go back to the office.
Me either.
Fuck water cooler talk. But we're probably going to have to do it at some point.
All right, Philosophy Corner coming at you.
Here we go.
Here we go next.
Hey, and welcome back. I'm Kyle, and this is Philosopher's Corner. And today we're going to talk about nihilism. And that is the belief that nothing has any meaning at all. We are just random particles bouncing around in a meaningless universe. And your values, your ethics, your morality is all just a facade. And you know what? That may or may not be true, but I will tell you this, my friends. Apathy is like salt. A little bit makes things taste a lot better. Too much will ruin a dish. So, you keep your own judge on meaning, my friend, and make sure that you're not meaning too much or meaning too little. This is Philosopher's Corner. Good night to you. Here we go.
All right. Hey, thank you for hanging out with us tonight.
You made it this long.
If you're still there.
I'm impressed by
there's
you.
Probably 2 or 3 of them, maybe, that are still there.
Maybe 1 or 1.5.
Hey, we're going to close episode 2 tonight. And we're going to do
you,
it
the audience,
with a question from our game, Soup2Nuts. It's a party game. The Nuts question is the final course of the game. Nuts questions are usually philosophical, funny and fun.
Just so you know, there's a soup question, there's an appetizer question, a salad question, a main course, a dessert, and a nuts.
So we're going to rock with the nuts tonight. And I'm going to go first. I'm going to ask Kyle a nuts question.
Give me your best. Give it to me.
All right, this is a super important question. Why, Kyle?
Okay.
Why isn't cereal called breakfast soup?
Why questions are difficult, and cereal questions are even more difficult.
Cereal questions are hard.
You know, my immediate reaction is, I don't know why the fuck it's not called breakfast soup. I eat cereal, I do, and sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night and pour a bowl of cereal, and I pour milk onto oats, and then I eat it with the spoon. Generally, Honey Nuts of Oats.
Okay.
Or Cheerios, Honey Nut Cheerios on occasion, but you know why I think it's not called breakfast soup?
Yes.
Globalists. It's the globalists, Charles.
Goddamn globalists.
Globalists are trying to manipulate us and make us buy weird things. And if it was called breakfast soup, we wouldn't pay as much. But it's called cereal, so we want to pay $5 a box, and that's why it's called cereal.
We wouldn't know what time of the day it was if we're eating soup in the morning.
Right?
Yeah. All right, good answer. I'll give him a thumbs up on that one. He gets the point.
It's just my humble opinion.
He gets the point. Bringing up globalists.
I happen to be a little conspiratorial. All right, I'm going to ask a question to you, sir.
Lay it on me.
Ooh. Oh, this is a question about humanity.
Okay.
Are you prepared to answer a question about humanity?
I love humanity.
Is humanity headed in the right direction or wrong direction? And why should we care when Dancing with the Stars is on?
Yeah, we shouldn't care. I've got to actually leave right now, and I've got it saved on my DVR.
You've been DVRing it, huh?
I'm going to go watch it. You know what? It's 2020, everybody, and humanity is friggin' going swirling around a ceramic bowl on its way to the sewer.
We're also dancing on that ceramic bowl and pirouetting.
We are, and we're friggin' happy because we're watching shit. We're watching Kardashians and Dancing with the Stars and America's Got Talent, and nobody's standing up and yelling, "Enough already! God damn it, enough already!"
Do you know who would be standing up and saying enough already?
Who?
Alex Jones.
Yeah, I don't want to go there. I don't want to, with his blowhorn yelling at teenagers, I don't want to go there. Ladies and gentlemen,
the frogs are gay! They're turning the frogs gay!
The frogs are gay. Ladies and gentlemen,
good night!
Episode 2 is in the books. Thank you for joining us if you're still there. We appreciate it. Send us your comments, good or bad.
Let us know.
Especially if they're bad. We love to have a good laugh about it.
And if you want to be on our show, we might entertain the idea. So let us know.
Yeah.
Whatever. We like guests.
We do. All right, Kyle.
Hey, my name's Kyle McCurdy.
And I'm not.
Good night to you.
Good night to you guys.
We'll see you soon.
Enjoy, rock on, go Hawks!
We doing this thing?
Line them up.
We are. Let's do this thing. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming out tonight. We'll see you soon. Broke.
That's good. We're done.
That was bad. This is bad drumming, man.